Good morning, Priyanta. Is Sir there?
He's at the bank, madam.
Sambat Online Banking. Convenient, easy, saves time. Sambat Bank. We present your future.
A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst newsroom here in Colombo. I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Let's start off with the headlines. JVP unveils its election manifesto. The election secretariat says that it has received 435 complaints citing breach of election laws. Now, stories in detail. The election secretariat has received 435 complaints with regard to violation of election laws in the run-up to the general election. The complaints unit of the secretariat said that the most number of complaints they had received were those pertaining to illegal appointments and promotions. The number of complaints in this regard stood at 133. 81 complaints have been received with regard to the display of election propaganda material such as posters and cutouts. The highest number of complaints had been lodged from the Colombo district. The election secretariat estimates the cost of the August general election to be 3,250 million rupees. The secretariat says that this estimate surpasses the cost borne during the January presidential election due to the ballot papers issued to each district being different. The election secretariat says that it has taken steps to allocate 475 million rupees for the removal of posters, banners and cutouts, as well as for the duties of police officers. Meanwhile, Additional Elections Commissioner M.M. Mohammed says that the election secretariat had issued a circular ordering that posters, banners and cutouts of candidates that are being displayed illegally be removed. Mohammed said that returning officers of all districts had been instructed that such propaganda material could only be displayed at the candidate's political office. These are the views that were expressed by the leaders of the parties battling it out at the upcoming elections.
An agreement has been reached to recommence operations at the thermal power plant. Discussions got underway to establish oil refinery at the Chinese-funded port. We are also planning on commencing technical colleges and training centers. We have already found economic solutions. That is the reason why we would like to request you to exercise your franchise to vote the UMP into power come the 17th. Why did Ranil jump into the whole calculation? He gave oaths in 5 minutes after swearing in of the president. He grabbed the position of Prime Minister even without unseating the current Prime Minister. They had forgotten to unseat him. These are the things that we need to think about. We are not ready to deal with the UMP anymore. Give us 117 votes. We will not resort to a national government. The reason being that they could only do all the fraud with Rajapaksa around. Do not vote based on the age-old tradition that says that my blood is green or blue.
India, rather than a superpower, likes to say that it's a leading nation.
Yeah, India is a leading nation. India is a soft power.
So how fares Sri Lanka in achieving the middle path?
Middle path is the most defining way of dealing with any issue, not only in the life of an individual, but also the lives of countries.
Still in local news, a special convention of the Janata Vimukti Perama commenced at the Sugadasa Indoor Stadium in Colombo this morning. A number of senior members of the JVP as well as activists of the party were present at the event. The elections manifesto of the JVP, which was titled The Accord of Consciousness, was unveiled during the convention. UPFA Kurnagal district candidate Mahinda Rajapaksa faced an unexpected incident yesterday when he attended a public rally in Akurasa yesterday.
මෙම සිදුවීම පිළිබඳව අප මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහතාගේ මාධ්‍ය සම්බන්ධීකරණ ලේකම්වරයාගෙන් විමසුවා.
As the political stage heats up with just 26 days left for the general elections, let's now take a look at the views expressed in the political arena.
It is tradition to hand over the reign of Prime Minister to the opposition leader. The reason being the intention of doing politics that is sensational for the audience. We have to safeguard our loyalists. We need to make our own government. We do not know about the number of votes we will receive. Some people have already shared the Prime Ministerial and Deputy Ministerial posts among themselves. We know that the ones who are more powerful than us will one day come into power, and the next thing you know, they will lose. We should not think that the people are foolish. They are indeed smart. We will be able to come to power without a battle. The UNP has proved this to us, that it can only rob but not work. Our people were charged of robbing after constructing roads, building bridges and harbours. At least we robbed after working, unlike trying to obtain loans.
Retaining the position of president for 10 years, he failed to spend a cent for education. Even though 6.2 million people stood up and sent them to the opposition, he safeguarded the corrupt and fraudulent ministers. I believe that they will rally in order to safeguard their children.
There was no room for development within the past 6 months. We have received strength to give life to the stalled development activities which were commenced by the previous administration. We are all in the same list after resolving the matters as one. The former president retained the power of 2/3 over 10 years. The same president is now asking for an opportunity to start afresh under the leadership of Maithripala Sirisena. Do you trust them for what they are saying? This is all a joke. The UNP is lost now. They are unable to do or say anything. They are promising to do what they could not do under the 100-day program. They orchestrated the world's chief robberies within these 100 days. They are the real thieves. They should be chased away.
Meanwhile, a meeting was organized at the Sri Lanka Press Institute yesterday to present a declaration containing recommendations on media freedom and the freedom of expression. The declaration had been prepared by the National Secretariat for Media Reforms.
This declaration was prepared taking into facts discussed at the National Media Summit held on the 13th and 14th of May, which saw the participation of all political parties. 10 recommendations, including the Right to Information Bill and the self-imposed censorship of media, are included in the declaration. Even though all political parties had been invited to the launch of this declaration, which was being presented by a number of journalistic bodies, it was only former Minister Reginald Kure who was present at the event. There are a colossal amount of political parties in this country, but it is only I who is present here. Therefore, let me make it clear that the statement I make is not a representation of any political party or organization. I think it is only correct that measures are taken to bring about justice against the many crimes committed against the media, irrespective of their political allegiances. We should do this. The political party or the individual is irrelevant here. Justice should be meted out.
Moving back to one of our local stories, General Secretary of the UPFA, Susir Premajayanth, says that legal action will be taken against UPFA candidates contesting under different tickets. He made this statement after paying homage at the Temple of the Sacred Truth Relic in Kandy yesterday.
The General Secretary of the UPFA lost out on the opportunity of meeting the Chief Prelate of the Askeri chapter of the Siam sect as he arrived at the temple. The chairman of the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board has requested all parties to send a list of candidates charged with incidents of drug smuggling before handing over nominations, and information has come to light that only the United National Party had sent out the list of names. What list? They had not sent any list as such to us. We are not the CID to find out about the ones involved. That is a job entrusted with the Anti-Narcotics Bureau and the police. The chairman of the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board alone cannot decide on who is involved. Meanwhile, the General Secretary noted that disciplinary action will be taken against a number of members of the party after convening the Central Committee. We as a party have decided to take disciplinary measures against a number of party members. The Central Committee has to take measures when considering the fact that the treasurer of the party is contesting under a different ticket, as this is a breach of party policies.
Well, with that, we wrap up lunchtime news. Join us again with our news update at 1:55.